Today I'm going to show you how to get started using the Python programming language. First, we will download Python and install it. Second, we will install PyCharm, a Python code editor. Head over to Google and let's get started. Right, so we're going to open up our browser and we're going to go to python.org. Click on the link, and this is the Python website. You're going to get the latest download. We'll go to downloads, and then it's going to pop up a save to file screen. Okay, so you can save this anywhere you like, or it will probably go to your downloads folder. If you're on a Windows machine, it'll default to the downloads folder. I have already downloaded this file, so I'm going to push cancel here, and I'm going to go to my downloads folder, and I'm going to double click on the install file. Then I just want to bring your attention to this little checkbox down the bottom here. It's important to check that because it will add the Python to your path. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that is ticked, and then we're going to go install. It'll take a few minutes or seconds depending on how fast your machine is. So the reason why I chose Python as a first language is it's very general. It can do a lot of different things. It's very versatile. It can be used in AI, machine learning, general scripting, automation, and it's just very fun to learn. So there we go. It's nearly done. Okay, it's finished. Setup was successful. Okay, so we can close that. Okay, so now we're going to go to Google and we're going to type in PyCharm. That is the text editor that I use. You get it at jetbrains.com. I'll include all these links in the description below in the video. So we're just going to go to that first link. PyCharm is a very nice Python editor. It does a very good job. So download. Okay, that's the professional edition. We don't want the professional edition. Let's click on the downloads there. Right, now it'll give us an option. Professional or community. So we're going to go with community. It's free. The professional one you have to pay for. So let's go with community. And another little pop-up box comes up to say save the file. And as I said before, it will be in your downloads folder. I have already downloaded this file, so I won't be doing it again. So I'm going to push cancel there and go to my downloads folder. And double click that, and it should start the installer. Just click yes. Next. I'm just going to leave the defaults. Just keep it if you want to. If you want to put it in a specific place on your computer, then feel free to change the path. Then it'll give you installation options. I'll click yes. I want a shortcut on my desktop. Add the bin and to associate any .py files with this application. Right, then we're going to go next and just install. This will take a few more minutes. Right, now it's finished installing and it's going to ask us to do a reboot. I'm going to leave it to reboot later. So we're just going to click finish here. And now we're going to write our first program. So we're going to launch PyCharm. And we say OK. Okay, then you will be you will be presented with this screen, and we're just going to go. You've got two options here. You can just open a file, or you can create a new project. I'll go with create a new project because it's going to set up our environment for us. So we're going to go to a folder structure that I've created to store all these files in. And then I'm just going to add on another folder here, tutorial 1. And then you'll see it will create an environment for you. And you say create. It'll take a few seconds to just launch the environment. And there you go. It'll give you a tip of the day. You can go to the next tip if you want. Let's close that. Let's just make this bigger here. Right, now you'll see you've got a main window. Just get rid of that little box. Make this a little bit smaller here. Okay, so it will present you with a main.py. This is just, it builds it for you by default. I'm going to just delete that and we'll start with an empty file. So we go, you right click on your folder, new Python file, and we're going to give it a name. And by convention, we always do hello world as our first program. And there we go. Okay, so I'm going to change the background because it's very dark, and to make it easier to see, I'll show you how to do that. You go to settings, you go to editor, and there should be color schemes. Then you can choose a different color scheme. I'm going to go with the classic light. Okay, so that should make it easier to see on the video. Okay, print hello world. Right, so let me just explain this one-line code I've written here. Print is a built-in function, and it's going to print whatever is in these two parentheses here. In this string, this is a string. It's going to print hello world, and the default place it'll print it to is down below here in the console, which is the screen. Print can be used to print to many things, but by default it prints to the screen. So now we're going to run that. You click run, or you can use the shortcut keys. As you see, it's Alt Shift F10. So the first time you run your program, you have to do it from the menu. Okay, so you must always make sure you select the right script that you would like to run, and it runs. All right. The next time, if you make any change, you add another line. Okay, then you can select from here. You'll see there's a little play button here, and there's a drop down here to choose which script you want to run. You can see hello world is slightly grayed out, meaning it's the active window. You just make sure that is selected. If you happen to have main in there, it's pointing to the file I deleted. If you run that, it's going to say, just stop and rerun. Okay, so right, you see it's going to complain to say it cannot find that file. So just make sure we select hello world and we run it. And now you can see it printed out both lines of text. And that's it for our first tutorial on how to start programming with Python. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, press subscribe below and smash that like button. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.